This video is brought to you by Vendoo. Hey, Midwest Prick here. My name is Dave. This is Joey. I think this is part 4 in the series, 25 things that you can sell right now on eBay. Why do we do these videos? Because when you're trying to source items to resell, whether it's Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari, does not matter. You don't want to waste your time and your money sourcing the wrong things. You also want to get an idea of how long is this thing going to sell? What might it sell for? Just is basic information. So I tell you obviously what sold, where I sourced it, what I paid for it, what the shipping is, and how long it took to sell. First item is this 1930s Starrett tool catalog. Man, I hit the jackpot with this. I sourced a whole grocery bag, 30 of them I think, from Facebook Marketplace. I paid $2 each. This one in particular is kind of old, so it sells a little bit better. I took a best offer of $20. Took 2 months to sell. Buyer paid shipping and handling. All right, real quick before I get this video started, I want to talk to you about an experiment I conducted. I wanted to figure out a way to increase my sales. I could either pay for advertising or I could cross-list or cross-post. I primarily sell on eBay, but it takes a lot of time to list those items also manually on other platforms to get more eyes in front of my products. And as I was thinking about this idea over the past few weeks, the cross-posting platform Vendoo actually reached out to me. And they said, hey Dave, we've been watching your YouTube videos and we really like your channel. We want you to consider promoting our product. But they said, we want you to try our product first for a week. And if you like it, reach back out to us. And if you don't like it, no harm, no foul. So I tried it for a week. Now, I'm pretty old. I'm almost 60. But I'm pretty computer savvy. Signing up for Vendoo, importing all of my listings from eBay into Vendoo is easy. And the product I saw is awesome. If I can figure it out, anybody can. There are so many options on Vendoo, it blows my mind. They have auto delist when items sell. That's my biggest anxiety. This product will delist on all the other platforms that you cross-post on when the item sells. They also have a bulk editing tool like delist and relist, send offers, marketplace sharing, and a whole lot more. I'm just getting started. They currently support 11 marketplaces. I've only got 5 total, but they have 11 they support. The templates they have in Vendoo are super intuitive. So for example, when I imported all of my listings from eBay into Vendoo, I have toys. So I cross-list those or cross-post those on Mercari. Vendoo brings up the Mercari template, you tweak it a little bit, and you hit list, boom, done. I have clothes and cosmetics on eBay. Now I cross-post those to Poshmark. I have crafts and Christmas ornaments on eBay. Now I cross-post those to Etsy. Super fast, super easy. A lot faster than doing it manually. So I signed up for the 125 listings per month plan. What's really cool, they have lots of plans and you can change them on the fly. So if you want to increase your subscription, you can. If you want to decrease it, you can whenever you want. You can also sign up for plans 14 days for free, so you can try it before you buy it, cancel anytime. I have an affiliate link in the description down below this video, which is really cool. If you click on that, you get 25% off your first month on Vendoo. I get a little tiny commission, which is really nice of them to pay me. Helps pay for these like cordless microphones and these lights. It helps support my channel. So if you want to get more eyes on your products and you're a reseller and you always thought about cross-listing, give Vendoo a try. It's not going to cost you anything. And if you like it and it works, you might see a huge boost in sales. Okay, now let's get back to the video. Next up is another catalog, Starrett Tool Catalog 1976. The newer they get, the less they're worth. Same story as the last catalog as far as where I sourced it, what I paid for it. This one sold for $12.95, free shipping. Next, I sound like a broken record. Joey's like, you sound like a broken record. Another Starrett Tool Catalog 1993. Same batch. This one sold for $14.95, free shipping. All of these took about 2 months to sell. Next is another batch of car air fresheners. If you watched my previous video, yes, you can sell pumpkin spice air fresheners in the middle of summer. People still want them. Of course, September, definitely October, they'll definitely sell faster. Don't know that you'll get more money though. This lot of 4, I took a best offer of $17. My cost of goods is $1.50 each. Free shipping and handling, super lightweight, took about a month. Next, I sold this Alice Cooper cassette tape. Yeah, this guy right here. My personal item from my own personal possession. I guess I still had cassettes from high school back in 1980s. Cost of goods, $0. I don't remember what I paid for it. Doesn't matter. That was a different budget, a different decade. Sold for $9.95, free shipping. Oh, only took 5 years to sell. Some cassettes have value, especially if they're like these obscure bands, these garage bands, not well known. The less well known the band, the more the cassette is worth, which sounds backwards, but it's true. Well known bands, cassettes are mass produced, and unless they're still sealed in the package, they take forever to sell. So basically, the rule of thumb, the weirder, the better. Next is this huge, monstrous socket. These giant sockets, they sell really well for me. Cost of goods was $5. Got it at a flea market. Took a best offer of $18. Free shipping and handling. Took about a year to sell. Next is this little lot of 3 wheat pennies from 1919. I bought, like 120 of these from eBay. I don't know, 5-6 years ago. They've been kicking around in a box. I have a coin collection. I thought I was going to keep them, but I thought, you know what? I'm just going to lot them up. 3 different mint marks, $12.95 for a set. I'm going to put together like 25 sets. Took a best offer of $11 on this one. I don't remember my cost of goods, but a little nugget of information, 2025 supposedly. This is the last year the U.S. Mint is going to mint the Lincoln cent. Now, there are billions and billions of cents in circulation, but just because they're not making them anymore, people kind of panic buy. So you might see a jump in value for old wheat pennies, any kind of pennies on eBay. They might go up a little bit in value because they're kind of in the news. This shipped using the eBay standard envelope system, which I love. Took about a year and a half. Next is this kind of creepy doll I won on high bid. I only got it for $4. I was the only bidder. I can't imagine why. I mean, dolls don't bother me. Clowns, yeah, they're kind of weird, but dolls, I got one right here, a string puppet. I got dolls all over the office. I buy them and I sell them all the time. They never freak me out. I don't know why. Took a best offer of $25. Free ship. Took about a year to sell. More Dunkin' Donut powdered coffee. This is a retail arbitrage clearance item from a grocery store. This was kind of a mistake. This is not discontinued nationwide, so they don't sell for good money. I think my cost of goods is $2 and change. I'm not quite sure. Took a best offer of $10. Free shipping. Took about 3 months to sell. Next item was this beauty. Oh man, did I hate selling this. This would have framed up nicely for the wall behind me in my office, but you can't keep everything. I had to sell it. Sourced this unissued 1944 license plate from high bid. Oh my gosh, this thing is minty fresh, still in the original envelope, never put on a card, not a scratch on it. Beautiful. Cost of goods, $31. I would not stop bidding. Bid, and I won this thing. Listed it for $99. Eventually, I lowered the price to $89.95. After about 6 months, it sold, free shipping. Would I do it again? I'm not sure if I'd spend $30 to sell it for $80 or $90. That's kind of a risk. But how often do you find a license plate that's brand new, still in the package, unissued, unused from the 1940s? Another tip too, if you sell anything from 1943 to 1945, you can put World War II era in the title, and that might help people find it, and it might help it sell. Next, this Maybelline lipstick, retail arbitrage from Walgreens. I don't know what I paid, 72 cents, chump change, something like that. I bought a bunch of them. Took a best offer of $8. The buyer paid shipping. Took about 2 months to sell. What's tough about this retail arbitrage item in particular is there was no 2 that were the same. I grabbed like 8 of these lipsticks, I think they are, but they all are different shades with different numbers. You can't really lot those up. I don't think women want all different shades. Now, if they had like 5 of the same color, easy peasy, just lot them up. Next is this L'Oreal foundation. This was sourced from a Rite Aid that was going out of business. Got it for pennies. Cost of goods, 20 cents. I think me and Mrs. Midwest, we bought like a dozen of these. Took a best offer of $9, free ship. Took about 6 months to sell. Next, L'Oreal lipstick from Walgreens, retail arbitrage. I'm having a hard time keeping these straight. L'Oreal, Maybelline, lipstick, foundation. Where did I get it? I'm the makeup whisperer, I guess. Can't remember the cost, but it's change, 75 cents, 63 cents, something like that. I don't know. Took a best offer of $9. Free shipping, took about 3 months to sell. Next is a story. You're going to like this story. I love stories like this. The furthest distance of any item I ever sold. I live in Michigan, And this person lives in Alaska, a little hunting village in Alaska. This is pretty cool. Sourced this item from a garage sale for like $4. A little town population, like 500. I put some pictures up as I'm talking. I went to print the shipping label and eBay said, no, stop, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
eBay said the spelling of the city was wrong and it would not let me purchase a shipping label. I thought, man, come on, this is a good sale. This is a $40 sale. So I messaged the lady and she wrote back pretty quickly. And I told her, I'm sorry, eBay won't let me buy a shipping label. So they said that the spelling of your city is wrong. If you could fix it in your account. And then I had to cancel the sale and ask her to repurchase it. Maybe I did it wrong. I don't know. I think that was the only way around it. You can't ship something with the wrong address or the wrong spellings. If it doesn't show up, you're screwed. So I explained it to her and she was very nice about it. So we canceled the order. She went into her account, fixed the spelling, went back into eBay and repurchased the item. And this time it worked. I could print the shipping label and she gave me, I think she gave me good feedback, and it was able to transact and it worked fine. Sold for $39.95, buyer paid shipping. Thank goodness. This is going from Michigan to Alaska. Wow, I don't even know what that would have cost. Here's some screenshots of the little village. These seem like really nice people. It's very small. I think current population is 555. They live right on the edge of the Arctic Circle. I'm glad she was eventually able to receive her item. I don't think this is an item that she could easily purchase locally where she lives. Next is this Chinese couple, this ceramic figurines I got for my sister for free. Thank you, sister. Took a best offer of $31. Buyer paid shipping. Took about 1.5 years to sell. Next is this Milwaukee socket. This is an impact socket, if you know the difference. Not super big, but super high quality. Got it from an outlet store for $2.75. So at first I thought pretty cool. I bought like a dozen different sizes. Sold for $14.95. Buyer paid shipping. The problem is, even though it's super high quality, Milwaukee overproduced these sockets. They made probably millions of them. And where I live, they are everywhere. So buyers have options. They can go on Amazon. They can go to a local brick and mortar store. They can go on eBay. They're everywhere. And this little socket took like 5 months to sell. Next, I sold 4 rolls of nickels for $24.95. Now, I know what you're asking yourself. Why would anybody pay $24.95 for 4 rolls of nickels? Way over face value. Well, the U.S. Mint has a whole different series of nickels all the time. And I went on the U.S. Mint website and I bought these way back in 2004, stuck them in my coin collection. I think I bought 8. 4 of one series, 4 of another. I got tired of looking at them, so I just put them on eBay. Still in the roll, they're fairly hard to find, not bad. I can't remember what I paid though, because when you buy it from the Mint, you got to pay shipping, and there's a little bit of a premium, so I have no idea what my cost of goods is. But the buyer did pay shipping and handling. These little suckers are heavy. It took about 2 years to sell. Next is another Nikon lens cap. This might be my last one. I sourced a bunch of these from an estate sale for $4 a piece. Still new in the package. I took a best offer of $13. Buyer paid shipping. Took about 6 months to sell. Another retail arbitrage from Walgreens. I don't remember my cost of goods. Maybe $3 a piece. This is a supplement. I forget the name, but they're little gummies. And I got 3 of them, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to lot them up. Took a best offer of $30. Buyer paid shipping. Took about 4 months to sell. Next is another lapel pin. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I sourced 360 Lions Club International lapel pins. Cost of goods is like 10 cents each. I think I put them on sale. This sold for $9.71, free shipping. It took about 2 years to sell. Next is a power belt. I won like 30 of these on high bid. Pretty dumb purchase. Cost of goods is 52 cents each, but these are not factory original. They're aftermarket, and they do have a number on them, but trying to sell these is painful. Free shipping and handling took 2 years to sell. Next is a vintage Red Lobster clear glass, free to me. Got it from my cousin who was doing a house clean out. Took a best offer of $9, free shipping, took about 2 years to sell. Next is Villeroy and Bach salt and pepper shakers. This is a consignment sale. I get 2/3 and the person who gave it to me gets 1/3. Sold for $23.96. That's kind of a weird price. I think it was on sale. Free shipping and handling. Took about 2 years to sell. Next is another giant socket. I mean, you can barely fit that in your hand. It's almost the size of a baseball. This is SK brand. Very good brand to look for. Got this at a flea market. I believe I paid either $4 or $6 for it. I can't remember. Took a best offer of $17. Buyer paid shipping. Took about a year to sell. Last item is this vintage Sunbeam food grinder, kind of like a food processor. Won it on high bid for $6 and a couple other Sunbeam items. Very vintagey, takes a long time to sell. Sold for $19.95. Free shipping, took about 2 years, I would guess. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let me know if you like these series, if you find them useful, helpful, and if you know anybody that wants to get into reselling or they're questioning what to source and what to pay and how long does it take, hit the share button down below this video and share it with somebody who you think might like the video too. Until next time, see ya.